Hello everyone, welcome to mystudynotebook.com. My name is Tarek. I am the founder of My Study Notebook. So today I will talk about the cost of higher education in USA. To talk about the cost in the application process, how much will it cost in applications, and the secondly I will talk about the living cost in USA, and I will also talk about the education cost, about the tuition fees and other things. So let's start with the application process. So everything starts with the applications, and the first step of your applications or the preparation is the standard test. So you have to take some standard test, whether you are going for engineering or for MBA or whatever. You have to take one or two standard tests like GRE, TOEFL, GMAT, IELTS. So if you are going for engineering, you need to take GRE or TOEFL or IELTS. If you are going for MBA, you have to take the GMAT. So the cost for taking GRE is about $190. For TOEFL, it will cost you around $160 to $200 depending on the country. And GMAT, it will cost you about $250. And IELTS, it also depends on the country from where you're taking the test, and usually it's about $200. University applications, it will cost you around $50 to $100 per application. So if I assume that you are going to apply for 10 universities, the cost will be around $800. And sending standard test score, so you will not only take the standard test, but also you have to send the test score to the universities you are applying for, and it will cost you around $20 to $30 per university per score. And sending documents. So when you apply for one university, the university will require some hard copy documents. So you might have to send some hard copy documents like your transcript, your certificates, those kind of things. You can use the standard UPS, FedEx, those kind of mail services to send documents to USA. And it will cost you around $20 to send documents to one university. So if you're sending documents to 10 universities, it will cost you around $200. SEVIS fee. So this is a fee, maybe you didn't hear about this fee. So this fee goes into effect if you are applying for student visa. So when you apply for the visa, you have to pay about $200 SEVIS fee. So don't forget about that. So the estimated cost for 10 applications in your calculations will be about $1,800 to $2,000 in the application process. So the next topics I will talk about the living cost in USA. I hope each and everyone of you will have the opportunity to come to USA to pursue your higher educations. So let's talk about the living cost in USA, how much it cost. The first thing is the house rent. The first and the major cost of living USA is the house rent, and it largely depends on the locations. It varies a lot depending on the locations, and it may vary from $500 to $2,500. For example, in Texas, if you want to rent one bedroom apartment, it might cost you about $700. But if you go to some expensive states like New York or California, it will cost you around $2,500 to $3,000. But one way to reduce this cost is sharing your apartments with your friends or someone else. Like if you rent two-bedroom apartment, the cost difference between one-bedroom apartment and the two-bedroom apartment is not that much. Like the difference might be $200 to $300, but the cost will be divided among yourselves. So the rule here is one bedroom can be shared by two people. So if you can rent two-bedroom apartment, four of you can live in the same apartment and you can share the costs. So it will greatly reduce the cost for you. So it's a very good idea to share the apartment with someone else. The second one is the grocery. From my experience, the grocery cost per one person per month is about $200 to $300. I live in Texas. I usually go to Walmart or HEB to do my grocery. There's some other expensive options too. Like you can see a lot of gas stations. It might be to the next door of your apartment, but gas stations are very convenient, but they're expensive. The price of their products is about 2 to 3 times higher than Walmart or HEB. So I would recommend to go to Walmart or HEB, those kind of stores, instead of going to the gas stations, unless you have very emergency things to buy. Maybe sometimes you want to eat food outside. Sometimes you don't have enough time to cook food by yourself. The food cost will vary from $5 to $15 per meal. So when I'm telling $5, I'm telling about McDonald's or Subway, from where you can buy $5-6 sandwich or burger. But if you prefer to go some other American restaurants, Indian or Chinese restaurants, it might cost you from $10 to $15. Obviously, there are many restaurants which are way expensive. So I don't recommend to go to those restaurants while you are in students. Like I found some restaurants in Los Angeles, California, near the Beverly Hills. There are some restaurants which will cost you around $500 per meal. So it would not be very wise to go in those restaurants while when you are a student, right? Okay, so let's go to the utility. The utility, you have to pay the electricity bill, and it's about $50 to $100 per month. And if you're sharing your apartment with your friends, then maybe you have to pay about $25 to $30 per month. And the internet, it will cost you around $40 to $50. Again, if you can share the cost with your friends. And there are some others utility bills too, like the trash and water or gas, those kind of things. It will not cost you too much, about $20 to $30 per month. And the phone bill, it will cost you about $20 to $30 per month. Health is a big issue in USA, and I can tell you it's a total mess in USA. Health could be very, very expensive, so you have to be very careful while you are staying in USA. So one important thing is the insurance. So if you have the insurance and if you don't have the insurance, the difference is big. Like if you have the insurance and if you want to visit a doctor, then the cost will be about $35 per visit. But if you don't have the insurance, the cost will be about $150 to $200 per visit. And the medicine cost is also way too much expensive if you don't have the insurance. So I would recommend not to stay in USA without the insurance. So unfortunately, if you have to go to any emergency of any hospital in USA, it might cost you for your lifetime. So always be careful. The insurance cost is about $300 to $500 per month per person. If you're getting any kind of assistantship from your university, there is a good chance that the university will bear the cost of your insurance. But if they don't, please try to find some good insurance and buy insurance for you and your family. Most of the universities, they have their own medical center, and those medical centers are free for the students, so take advantage of that facility. Transportations, not every big cities or small cities in USA have good public transportations. For example, I'm living in College Station in Texas. It doesn't have any public transportations. It does, but not very convenient. But the one good thing is most of the universities, they have their own bus services. You can of course take advantage of that bus services. Most of the time it's free for the students. So if your city have the public transportations, it might cost you about $100. But many people in USA, while staying in USA, they largely depends on their own car. So if you buy a car, it might cost you about $100 per month for the fuel and for the insurance cost. Miscellaneous, there are always some miscellaneous costs. You might want to visit some places, you might want to visit your friends, you might have to pay some fines. So there are so many miscellaneous costs, so be always prepared for miscellaneous costs. From my experience, it will be about $200 to $300 per month. Education costs, next big thing is the education cost. So if you're getting funding from a university, that's great, but if you don't, education cost is expensive here in USA, and it depends on the location of the university and whether the university is public or private. Usually the private universities are more expensive than the public universities, and for the public universities, the education cost, the tuition fee, depends on the status of the students. By the status, I mean the in-state status and the out-of-state status. What does it mean by in-state status? So if a student is from the same state where the university is located, then the status of that student will be in state, and if he is coming from some other state, the status will be out of state. Usually all the international students will get the out of state status. So the difference between in-state and out of state status is like that. The in-state student will pay about 60% of tuition fees what out of state status students will pay. So it can make a huge difference. So I would recommend, if you cannot get the 100% full waiver for your tuition fees from a university, try to get something like in-state tuitions. It will save you a lot of money for you. Okay, let's talk about the tuition fees. For private universities, is about $30,000 to $50,000 per year. For public universities, it will be $10,000 to $15,000 per year for in-state students. For out-of-state students, it will be around $20,000 to $30,000 per year. So it's a big amount of money. So you have to be prepared for that. Fees, there will be always some fees associated with the universities per semester. For example, like the recreation center fees, the transportation fees, and some other fees, and it will cost you around $1,000 to $2,000 US dollar per semester. That's the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please put your comments below. We'll try to answer all of them. If you like our video, please subscribe to our channel, and please don't forget to click the like button, and please share with your friends. We'll see you on next video. Until then, goodbye.